What is up, my loves? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Natalie Hughes, and in this video we're doing a kind of get ready with me. I just got out of the shower and I'm doing my little Nath Hughes version of a gua sha because I wanted to get on here and talk with you, and I have face masks that are in the mail and other fun face stuff that's in the mail, but I want to have this conversation now. So this is what we're doing. Yesterday and last week, it's Monday, was fucking crazy. I totally just slipped into this like fear-based energy and mode. And it's all because I had this bill that I needed to pay. And it triggered this fear within me that I wouldn't be able to pay my bill and I wouldn't be able to take care of myself. And so from that place of running from my fear, it's like, okay, when you get super triggered, when an inner child gets super triggered, your nervous system gets activated. Fight, flight, fawn, freeze. One of those things happens. There are experiences where you have a freeze response and you do nothing. That was my experience in high school. You have a freeze response in your nervous system. You feel so terrified. Your nervous system is activated. You can only do one of these things. So when you have a freeze response, in my case, in relationship to responsibility, afraid that I can't take care of responsibility, afraid that I won't be able to perform well enough in school, and I won't be able to go to a good college, and I won't be able to have a good future, I won't be able to make money, I won't be able to, get out of my current life circumstance if I don't do good in school. So there's all of this pressure that you're experiencing. Your nervous system is activated. Your prefrontal cortex, which is still developing at that time when you're in high school, is like, might as well not even be there because you're fucking freaked out majority of the time. So my freeze response in high school was my nervous system being activated. My fear response in high school was to freeze, do nothing. My fear response in business most recently has been flight. And the way that the flight freeze response manifests for me in business is we have to go. We have to do the things. We have to do the things now. We have to do all of this now. Working constantly, afraid to rest. Because if I don't rest, then I won't get the money that I need, and I won't be able to take care of myself, and I won't be able to have these life experiences that I want to have. And so it becomes very real, and it becomes this like very like visceral fear. Oh my goodness gracious. Taking on more financial responsibility, leveling up financially. Also simultaneously leveling up with my feelings of like faith and trust in the universe. Feminine energy requires a lot of faith. And hyper masculine people, or people who are most dominantly in their masculine energy, they have trouble with faith because they can't see, they can't touch, they can't taste, they can't hear, they can't feel. Intuition and feminine energy is unseen. Intuition and feminine energy, and that when your self-trust comes from there, it's different thoughts coming in my mind. Hold on, come back. Feminine energy just knows. Feminine energy is like infinite intelligence. Feminine energy just knows. Feminine energy is when you're tapped into your intuition. Your intuition is your inner being. Your inner being is the greater part of you that is connected to infinite intelligence, according to Abraham Hicks. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm so beautiful. Sickening. So, where am I in this story? I really got lost. I can't look at myself for the rest of this conversation. Okay. Feminine energy is infinite intelligence. And it just knows what it knows because it knows. It's like, it's all of the clairs, but specifically it would be like claircognizant or no, I think claircognizant is the one, right? Claircognizant is the one where you just know because you know. And there are ones like clairaudient, which is like, I know because I hear something. Or there are ones like clairvoyance, where it's like, I know because I see something. You know what I'm saying? So there's different types of like psychic gifts and abilities and all that good stuff. All of that is feminine energy. Because how do you know that that's true? Because how do you know that? Because how can you tell me that? Because how can you receive this information about my life that I didn't tell you anything about? You know what I'm saying? It's feminine energy. So when you don't spend time in your feminine energy, when you spend your time focusing on, this is what we see in the physical world, this is the choices that we're going to make because of that, like masculine energy. An example of people really operating in their masculine energy would be people who really care about statistics. People who make choices and decisions in their lives based on stats. That's masculine energy. 50% of marriages end in divorce. So I expect that there's a 50% chance that my marriage is going to last. That's masculine energy. Feminine energy is like, I understand this statistic, but I really don't understand what that has to do with me, because I feel in my heart and in my soul that the marriage is going to last forever and ever. So I really don't care about this statistic. Feminine energy is like radical self-trust. Masculine energy, dependent, like masculine energy that's out of balance is like a dependence on this physical reality. I don't make choices and decisions unless my physical reality tells me that it's okay. So I spent a lot of time in my masculine energy going, doing a million things. And I was really, really scared to stop working because I have to take care of this bill and I want this thing done with this bill. And at the same time, I'm still doing my manifestation work. So I'm still doing the feminine work, but I'm not trusting and relying even more on the feminine. And the reason why, it's like you don't have to do this, but the reason why I have to do this is because I want to receive more. Receiving more is more of a feminine energy. Receiving more requires more of a trust. Self-worth is not something that can be put into like fucking data. You know what I mean? Self-worth is a feeling. Self-worth is a feeling. It's a feminine thing. So when you want to allow yourself to receive more, you're boosting up your self-worth. Boosting up your self-worth is just boosting up what you believe you deserve to have, what you believe you deserve to receive, what you believe you deserve to experience in life. When you want to make more money, it stops being about survival and it starts being about caring about how you feel. And when you care about how you feel, you make choices and decisions that are a reflection of that. Meaning, somebody who cares about how they feel understands that if they have to commute to work or they have to pay for parking for work or whatever, if they believe that if they have a certain salary, they're not going to be able to comfortably travel to work and pay for work, what are they going to do? They're going to ask the people who are employing them or the people that they're interviewing with, I need XYZ much more money because I need money to park my fucking car. And I cannot afford to park my car on this salary. And that's why they receive more money. Because they think that it's important for them to have these things. Somebody who's asking for more money knows that it's really, really important for them to save money, or they believe that it's really important for them to save money every single month. They feel that it's really important for them that they have enough money so that they can invest. They feel that it's really important for them that they have enough money so that they can go and travel, go on a great vacation, buy a great car, buy a great home, whatever. They feel that it's an important, significant thing that matters. And so they make choices and decisions in alignment with that. They're not going to sign on to a job unless that job is giving them that, because they know that it's what they deserve. They believe that it's what they deserve. So as I believe more that I deserve to receive, not really because of how much I work, not really because of the action that I'm taking in this physical reality, but because I exist, and because I'm the creator of my reality, and because God is on my side, and because I was made to have a good feeling life. As I continue to tell that story, and the more I believe that, the more my choices and decisions in my business, they come from a different place. There's no more nervous system being activated in your day-to-day life when you're running your business. It's more so this energy of knowing that I deserve to have good things, and knowing that I get to be taken care of, and knowing that I get to be loved, and knowing that I get to be supported. And believing that I get to be supported even when I'm not taking a specific action, because the action doesn't make me worthy of the thing. I'm worthy of the thing because I exist. And when I know that I'm worthy of the thing, and when I focus on getting the thing, I spend my time in the vibration of the thing, then any physical action that I need to take must occur. I'll be inspired to do it. I'll be given the idea to do a video. I'll be given the idea to post something on Instagram. It will flow. And I was really fucking with my own creative flow, because masculine energy contains feminine energy, and that can be really great and awesome and helpful, and it can create really wonderful structures if it's in balance. But when there's too much masculine energy, then your feminine energy just starts to feel suffocated. And your feminine energy is your creativity, and it's your emotions, your feelings, it's your intuition. So while I'm in that hyper masculine mode, I'm freaking out. I have to do the things. I have to figure out the things. My creativity is just being fucking suffocated. So I'm going, I have to write this blog post. Why is it taking me fucking hours to write this blog post? Why can't I think of any of the captions for these Instagram posts? What the fuck is going on? Am I burnt out? I don't think that I'm burnt out. I don't feel that I'm burnt out. I think I've been taking enough rest. What the fuck is going on? Why am I not as creative? Blah, 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 blah. It's because you're behaving masculinely as fuck. Is that a word? You're behaving in a very masculine way. The behavior that you exhibited was masculine-like. The masculine came out to bite. You know what I mean? The point is, I was in this super masculine energy because my nervous system was activated. And I've been tapping more into the energy of like, I trust myself and I'm safe with money and I rely on God. And it's so funny because one of the things that shifted it for me was I was like, okay, I have to do this because I have to make money for this thing to pay off this bill. And then I got the money to pay off the bill. And then I went to Ulta because I needed a moisturizer. I needed a moisturizer for nighttime that wasn't sunscreen because I think it's one of the things that's been making my skin more dry. So I was like, I need a moisturizer that has no sunscreen in it for myself at night because we need to take care of our skin and it's wintertime and it's cold and all that stuff. So while I was on Ulta, I thought to myself, I should just go look at this chemical peel, which I know I kind of talked about maybe my nose being burnt, possibly, allegedly. You know what I mean? But the point is, I can put the peel around it. I can put the peel on around it. I look just to see, just out of curiosity, and they're having a buy one, get one free sale. And then it went from just one face cream to like okay, so technically, girl math, it was buy one, get one, but the products were like $40 each. And I don't have to justify anything because I'm a grown up. I'm a grown woman. I make my own money, so I spend it how I like. And the point is this. When I was going to buy the thing, I was like, oh my God, not another bill. And then I kind of had this moment of like, hold on. You're in a pattern here. Because you just paid off the money for this bill and now you're going and doing something else to get more money on this bill. But you showing up and behaving in that hyper masculine way wasn't working for you. We'll get to that in a second. If you buy this thing, I'm not saying you shouldn't buy this thing, but if you buy this thing, is it going to activate your nervous system and you're going to be acting a fucking fool? Again, yes or no? And I was like, oh, that's a really good question. That's a really good question. And that's when I realized, okay, I need a little bit more faith and I need a little bit more trust. A little bit more faith and a little bit more trust that I'm not going to be abandoned by the universe or by money, that I'm safe and secure, that I have gotten myself to this place. I know that what I'm doing works and I know that manifestation is real. And I feel stronger and stronger in that every single day, even though parts of resistance still come up and, you know, get worked through. And that's a part of the process. But the point is, that I really had to get that stuff from Ulta. And the point also is that if you're going to get the stuff from Ulta, then you have to believe that you can easily pay off this bill, girl. And I know that I can easily pay off this bill. But my experience of manifesting paying off this bill, it can either go two ways. The first way, I can have a good time. I know that it's going to be paid off. I trust myself. I trust the universe. I trust God to show up for me. My bills are already paid. Technically, it's not even something that I'm like, okay, why am I talking in code? It's a credit card bill. So technically, I already paid everything that needs to be paid for the credit card bill. So the credit card bill is not going to be due until like fucking January. But I don't want to pay interest on the credit card bill. So I've been telling myself that the credit card bill needs to be 0 because I don't want to pay interest on the credit card bill. And that's what I told myself when I would get the credit card. So it's a made up rule that I made for myself. So like technically you're safe and secure. And that's another thing that I've just been thinking in my mind lately. Like, hey, I feel like you're freaking out, but like, you know that you're good. Like there's no immediate danger. Like, you know that you're okay. And I'm like, no, you're right. I am okay. So that takes us back to my point. There's one way. The one way is I know that I'm okay and I know that I'm good and I know that God has my back and it's okay to freak out and I know how to move through it when I'm feeling freaked out or when I'm feeling panic, okay? And then the second way is I have to do the things and I have to take care of it now and I have to pay this off now and I have to make the money to do this now and I have to do anything. I got into this energy of panic that I really haven't experienced in a long time because I really do not add on a lot of bills willy-nilly. I'm very, very serious about the bills that I have and just needing to feel like 110% confidence around my bills. It's really important to me. So this is like one of the first times that I'm really adding on a new bill, plus student loan payments started back up. So this feeling, I have allowed this feeling of fear and this feeling of dread to kind of creep back in, and I get it. It's the feeling that I felt in 2019 when I left college to start this business and I was going, what if it doesn't work? What if everything fails? Blah, blah, blah. So I was feeling super duper freaked out. And I was in my masculine energy. And then I go to buy these products that I have to buy. The deal is too good. The deal is too good. Instead of spending $80, I spent $40. Take the damn card. Take the goddamn card. Because it's really good. It's a really good facial peel. And then I got a night cream. And the night cream has retinol in it, which I've also been really wanting to try. And then I get a face mask, which I need because we have these conversations here. And then when I was there, I was thinking, do I need anything else? And if you really get it, and if you really understand it, which I think you will, because you're my people. You know what I mean? Like, after I had already added all of the things that I didn't need to my cart, I asked myself, is there anything else that I need? Is there anything else I can think of? And, some of us are just made to be wealthy. What can I say? What can I say? What can I say? It's the way I think. You know what I mean? And I feel like you do know what I mean. You know exactly what I mean. So, I thought to myself, do I need anything else? And I was like, I really love those like headbands. You know the headbands that the girls wear when they're like putting on like their makeup and stuff? Like, wouldn't I be so cute with the headband? Wouldn't I be so cute with the headband? I agree. So, I looked up headbands. And they did have a cheetah print headband. And you know that I purchased that too. It was like $5. Oh my God. Okay. And I just feel like you understand. I really do. I hope you do. And if you don't, then I kind of feel bad for you because that's what life is about. That's what life is about. Enjoyment. That's self-worth. My enjoyment really matters. I ask myself, what else could I receive that would increase my enjoyment of my bathroom self-care? And the answer was a headband. And then I saw that they had it in cheetah, and then the answer really became a headband. And that's just who I am. And as a woman who has Moon Square Venus, it is very tight. That's important to me. My comfort is very important to me. My skincare is very important to me. This time is very important to me. So what's my point? My point is that at that point I decided Well, because you technically have three options. The third option was not to buy anything, but that really wasn't an option. It was a buy one, get one sale. I'm sorry. On this chemical peel that is normally $40, I don't think I've had the chemical peel. It's been over a year since this has been gone. And it's still in there because it's that good. I couldn't throw it away because what if I threw it away and then I forgot what it was? No. You understand what I'm saying? It was that good. I still have it. It has been empty. Oh, there's actually a little bit in there. Anyway, mostly empty. And it also lasts an incredibly long time. So I could get one that's going to last me a long time. Then I could get two. Then I could use them on different parts of my body, which is also good and important to me. It was a smart decision. It was a smart decision. When you see buy one, get one free, and you really care about your skincare, you do it. You do it. You do it. And, what can I say? What can I say that hasn't already been said? Okay. So the point is this. I decided I was going to buy it. Okay, you're going to buy it. What are you going to do? You're going to freak the fuck out, or you're going to chillax because you know that it's done. I have spent probably 3 times the amount on this card, but every single time I spend it, I pay it off. And so I'm like, okay, it's more likely than not that this is going to get paid off. Yeah, it is. I know where I'm going. Amanda Francis has talked about this before, actually, where she's talked about being in this energy of making choices and decisions, knowing where you're going. Buying the Chanel bag, knowing that when you buy this bag, it signifies the level that you're stepping into. You're not buying the Chanel bag and then going, how am I going to pay my rent? But you're buying the Chanel bag knowing it's a little bit of a stretch right now. But as I buy it, I normalize it and it becomes my normal. It's one way to do things. And I totally had one of those moments with the Ulta purchase. You can use this card and you can use it from the place and the energy of I'm the woman who trusts herself. I'm the woman who makes good choices financially. I'm the woman who trusts the universe to support her. And it's because I'm a spiritual woman, but also because this is a spiritual-based business. So you really kind of have to trust that the universe is going to take care of you and bring you your people and all that stuff. And it's already been happening, and I'm a powerful manifestor, and I get everything that I want. And the reason why I'm saying it in that tone is because it's like these are things that I know, but you just go deeper and deeper and deeper with it. So that's like most of my update. Now I want to talk about why or how I even got into this awareness of like, well, no, I was kind of freaking out the whole month of fucking November. Well, I don't know if that's what I would say. I kind of, yeah. Things have been so good and I've also been freaking out. It's been like leveling up, nonstop leveling up. And I didn't really experience this since, I haven't really experienced this since maybe like the beginning of the second quarter of this year. And it's when I was making those posts on Instagram about your growth and expansion feeling like a rocket ship trying to go into outer space. And your resistance just feels like that gravitational pull. And so you're using your mindset shifting, your journaling, your EFT tapping, your breath work, your scripting, your visualizing, you're meditating. Like, you're using all of your energy and all of your focus to fuel this rocket ship pushing against Earth's gravity to break out, of the atmosphere and like into space and shit like that. So as you're ascending and as you're doing the work, it's like you feel that pressure. I've been having that experience lately, and I forgot what that felt like until I sat and thought about what I experienced earlier this year, which was really amazing. But the point is that I've been growing and expanding and ascending, stepping into this next level, stepping into this expectation of receiving more, recognizing that as I step into this expectation of receiving more, I don't necessarily have to do more. But before I even got into any of those shifts, we have to talk about one more thing. It's been 31 minutes. I do not want to talk for more than the next 15 minutes. I do not want to do that. So I have to just cut that shit off and talk about the next thing. So last week, I was on live last weekend. I went live. I was planning on going live I think I did Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday or something like that. And I was already doing work on stuff. So I was like, yeah, I can go live. I can work on stuff. If people want to come and ask me tarot questions, and I'll do their tarot questions. And then I'll make money while I'm doing the stuff that's going to make me more money. And yay, so great. And it was fine. But I was also in the background playing out that fearful story, still moving through that. So I was in this hypermasculine mode, and in that hypermasculine mode, you stop really focusing and paying attention to how you feel. And I wasn't so far into it that I was completely unaware of how I felt. But I was in it enough that I kind of pushed myself just a little bit too much to a place that I don't like to go. I went live, and then I was working, and then I was kind of feeling tired, and then I kind of don't like to work on the weekends, but then I got up, and then I went live anyway, but I also was feeling so good. I was genuinely and authentically feeling good, but I was just teetering on that edge. And then on Saturday, I went live, and it's going to sound crazy, and it's going to sound like the most ungrateful thing in the world, but you're just going to have to follow me. I went live, and people would not stop paying me for readings. And the reason why it was a negative thing was because I really wanted to work on my work. I wanted to do the blog posts. I wanted to get the things. I wanted to blah, blah, blah. So my nervous system is already my amygdala is already hyper aware, super sensitive. So that sensitivity, maybe it was a sensitivity that was always there. I don't even fucking know. But one of my subscribers came on, and I've already talked to her about this story that I'm telling you. One of my subscribers came on, and I recognized her because, we have conversations. If I go live and you come and you talk to me, I know who you are, and I remember the conversations that we have because I have the memory of an elephant. And she came on, and I knew that she was from New York. And it's a beautiful thing. Pause that story. Put a pen in that story. We're jumping to another story, and we're going to jump right back. I just thought about New York City, and I smiled. My first instinct was to smile, and it just feels like we are so back. It just feels like we are so back. Anyway, back to this story. Okay, wait, no, I have to explain more of that. Sorry. When I went to New York City, I was there for college, and I was traumatized as fuck, okay? one of the worst experiences of my life. Obviously, I survived. Obviously, I'm here. And I don't say I survived like what I experienced didn't matter or it was insignificant. I just mean it was terrible experiences, but I'm also very happy that those terrible experiences are making me like millions and billions of dollars. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so anyway. The point is that I had this really negative association with New York. There was a part of me that was just afraid to even be there in that energy. It was really terrible. So this woman who we have a conversation with, she's from New York. And it was something about her energy, which is nothing, she didn't do anything wrong. I understand what it was, but I'm not going to say because I'm just not. There was something about her energy that really reminded me of the experience that I had. So it really, really triggered me. Like, I have personal clients and stuff like that who are from New York, and their energy doesn't trigger me at all, but it was something very particular. Anyway, she didn't do anything wrong, by the way, again. So I was already teetering that line of you're working too much, maybe you're working yourself to burnout. I had gone live, answered questions, like, you kind of know, you kind of feel it when like you've done your last, you're done. Cut the cameras off. You're done. You kind of feel it. And I felt it, but from that hyper masculine place was kind of like, no, I can keep pushing myself a little bit further. And that's not a good place to be in. That's not a good place for me to operate in. And so it was just kind of like the perfect storm of a part of me like, oh, we have to talk about this. So I don't hate doing tarot readings. I like doing tarot readings when I can do one and it can help thousands of people all over the world. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love it. Great experience. I also like doing tarot readings when I want to do tarot readings. I don't take personal tarot readings because I don't like having a queue of people who are waiting for me to read questions for them. I also can only take so much of doing tarot readings. And the perfect example that I came up with is this. If you had Martin Luther King in front of you, yes, I'm comparing myself to Martin Luther King. Who gives a shit? Get over it. It's a really good comparison. If you had Martin Luther King in front of your face, would you go up to Martin Luther King, civil rights activist, and ask him about the economy? Would you call up Martin Luther King and say, hey, I'd like to talk about the stock market? Would you do that? Would you do? And I'm not saying that Martin Luther King couldn't talk to you about the economy. I'm not saying that Martin Luther King couldn't tell you about the stock market. Maybe he could. Probably he could. But his zone of genius, don't you think it would be a better use of his time to have a conversation about equality, change, faith in God? It's a better use of his time. So as I've been elevating in my self-worth, I'm understanding what's a better use of my time. And I'm really, really raising my prices on every fucking thing. I think maybe the last video, I said I was changing the price of my course to $300. Now I think that's fucking ridiculous. That could have been like a week ago. That could have been like 2 weeks ago. I don't know. It's only been November, but it also kind of feels like it's really been like 4 months. Like, that's ludicrous to me. $300 for my fucking work? Ludicrous. So then I changed the price of my courses to $600. And maybe it's been a week. And the second that I tweak some shit on my landing page, my course, at least one of them, I know the other ones will, but I'm still moving around some energy. Oh, visual vamp up and how to receive. So 2 out of 4 of my courses will be $1,700. Easy. And that's still a fucking crazy deal. And I know at some point they're going to be $5,000, but I want to do a couple different things before we get to that place. So you got a couple months. I'm just kidding. I don't know when it's going to happen, but that's like the dream and the vision and the plan that I have. Welcome into my world. So the point is, I've been growing and expanding and elevating in my self-worth, what I think I deserve to receive, what I'm willing to believe that I can receive. And I've been paying more attention to how I feel and the fact that how I feel matters and is important. That's self-worth. The people who tell you it doesn't matter if you don't want to do it. Sometimes you have to do things that you don't want to do. They have low self-worth. They don't give a fuck about how they feel. They don't believe that how they feel is important. They don't believe that how they feel is significant. They don't believe that how they feel matters. Low self-worth. Say it with me. Low self-worth. Thank you. So I've been upping my self-worth. I've been recognizing more and more, okay, we have to feel better. I have to have somebody who's doing the posting and who's scheduling the post on the social media. I really have to manifest the fuck out of a virtual assistant, but a virtual assistant who is really about her business, and I know who it's going to be. And then you have that fucking personal growth work of like letting yourself be supported, and that limiting belief that's like, no, I like to change things up in my business, and what if I want to change things around and then I can't? So so like I have to do a little bit of like journaling and like moving around that. But the point is that I care more about how I feel. I care more about what I receive. I care that I receive the things that I desire. I care that I receive things that just really support me in having an emotionally fulfilled life. So doing work that I don't want to do does not support me in having an emotionally fulfilled life. Doing tarot readings for people and not doing empowerment work and coaching is like me being Dr. King and teaching a class on economics. I can do it. I can do it well. I'm brilliant. I'm really amazing at it. But is it the best use of my time? Is it the best use of my gifts? Is it the best use of my skills? No. So why do you keep doing it? Oh, because a part of you doesn't trust and isn't willing to lean on your skills as a coach and a teacher and an empowerment lady, which is crazy. It's ludicrous. You're fucking kidding me? This motherfucker don't miss. Her coaching is amazing. My clients get amazing fucking results. But anyway, the point is, I'm working more on my confidence. The point is, I'm working more on my self-worth and working more on trusting myself, trusting my gifts, trusting the universe to have my back, trusting my business to fully support me. When I trust that I deserve to receive, when I trust myself to take care of myself, when I trust myself to support myself doing what I love, then I don't have to do work that I don't want to do. So when I start showing up and I start doing work that I don't want to do, it's a telltale sign that I'm out of alignment. Now, there are some times when this feels good for me. Sometimes I want to do tarot readings, so I do. Sometimes I don't, so I won't. But I wasn't listening to myself. And in that instance, just this weird thing happened. She asked me a question that I didn't want to answer. Not because there was anything, well, it was just kind of like sticky, legally, you know what I mean? And I hate to be one of those tarot readers that's like, It's for entertainment purposes only because I am incredibly entertaining, but you better be taking what the fuck I'm telling you seriously because I'm not doing this for no reason. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really say that. You know what I mean? So it just kind of like made me uncomfortable on top of me already being uncomfortable because I answered one question too many already. On top of me already being uncomfortable because I don't love this energy that I'm in, that hyper masculine, have to do something a million fucking times or, you know, have to keep working until I see the result that I want and I can't rest. Like, and then I was super triggered by the lady. And I just spoke to her in such a rude fucking tone. And I got off the call and I was like, whoa. I got off the live and I was like, okay, how you spoke to that lady was interesting and rude as fuck. And then I felt so bad and I felt so terrible. And then I felt fucking tired and exhausted. But then I was like, I have to send her an email and I have to apologize. So then I apologized and I explained where I was coming from and why my energy was what it was, because I was really triggered, but it wasn't her fault, and I shouldn't have spoken to her in that way. And I actually was going to make this video be about that, having repair in relationships. Long story short, because I'm not talking about that shit today. Maybe not in the future, I don't know. Repair in relationships is so normal. Being triggered is so normal. I don't think that anybody needs to strive for perfection because you're a human being and you experience interpersonal trauma being alive and being on earth. It's more likely that you experience interpersonal trauma than you not experiencing interpersonal trauma just because most people are emotionally immature. And if you're emotionally immature, you don't have the capacity to care for and support and take care of a child. Like, you just don't. So it's a traumatizing experience, but we're resilient and our brains are like fucking elastic. You know what I'm saying? So we heal, we grow, we expand, we evolve, we do better in the future. You know what I'm saying? The point is that it's okay to be triggered in relationships. I think sometimes we do things that are a little fucked up, or we say things that are a little fucked up, and then we're kind of like, whoa, I don't even know where that came from, or that was not a conscious choice and decision that I made. It was literally like something that came out of me, and I was like, whoa, that's fucking crazy. And I literally felt so bad. So sometimes you kind of mismanage your emotions, and sometimes you get triggered, and sometimes you ignore the triggers that are kind of building up inside of you to the point where it just comes out, and then you're like, whoa, okay, now this is something that I really have to deal with, and you just can't ignore it anymore, which is not the place that I like to go to, so it doesn't happen very often. But the point is that you just recognize sometimes you made a mistake, said the wrong thing, spoke to somebody in a rude tone. So I'd like sent her that email, and in the email she thanked me for apologizing. We repaired our relationship and all that, but she said that she had experiences like that before, and she was like, you're the first person who has, you know, ever apologized for that in the community. And I'm like, I love that. And you know, it becomes more normal the more that people like me exist and tell stories like this. It's okay to say that you're fucking sorry. Because how you treat people matters, and how people feel when they interact with you matters. And if I'm somebody who has self-worth, I understand that for myself. I also really understand that for other people. I've been apologizing so much lately. Not like in a people-pleasing way, but just like, oh, like, of course I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Of course I'm sorry for the negative emotional consequences that my actions or my words or whatever had on you. Like, duh, of course I am. So anyway, that happened. And I don't know where my chapstick is. I don't know where my chapstick in this bathroom is. I think my chapstick is all in the other room. You know, it's like you have a million of them all over the place. But now I I don't think it's in here. Okay. The point is this. I think I talked about everything that I want to talk about. Number one, I'm growing and expanding. I was in that hyper masculine energy. I recognized that I had a choice to manifest in a way that felt more relaxed and more trusting. So instead of taking that frantic energy and running away from my fear by taking a whole bunch of action and burning myself out, I'm regulating my nervous system. And I'm choosing to deliberately tap into the vibration of, I trust God. Me and God have such a strong, solid relationship. I'm choosing to tap into the energy of the vibration of, I really trust myself to take care of myself. I really trust myself to take financial responsibility for myself in my own life. And that's the more feminine approach. That's the approach where you are getting into the energy of the thing regardless of what's going on in the physical reality. That masculine approach is where you're only taking action when the physical reality will allow it. You're only willing to believe when the physical reality will allow it. And that's just a really limited way of seeing things and being in the world. I recognize a more efficient way when I see it. And so I just chose to shift in that moment. And one of the things that powerfully helped me to see that it was time to shift how I was approaching my goals was how I spoke to a member of my community. And I really felt guilty and I really felt like shit. I apologized that night. She responded to me like within a couple of hours, and then like I saw it in the morning, but I still felt really guilty and I still felt really bad. And then at that point, it was just like, okay, you have to move on from this. You did what you needed to do. You apologized. You took the action that you needed to take. You repaired the relationship. You're good. If you continue to feel bad about this, you're just torturing yourself. So that's another thing. That's like maybe the last thing that I want to put in this video, is that you take the steps and you take the action to make the things right, and then you forgive yourself. You take accountability for your shit, and then you forgive yourself. It's not the making the mistake, that's the wrong thing. It's not having resistance to your manifestations, that's the wrong thing. It's what do you do after? It's how do you take accountability? How do you take accountability for your resistant thoughts in your manifestation process? How do you take accountability for the mistakes that you're making in your life, in your relationships, and in your business? That's the important thing, because the mistakes are a part of the process, and the resistance coming up is a part of the process. So how do you handle that? And that's, I think, what's going to determine how successful you are in your relationships, at actually cultivating long-lasting relationships, especially building intimacy in relationships. Intimacy, Teal Swan's definition is like intimacy. It's vulnerability. It's transparency. It's opening yourself up to let somebody inside of what's, oh my God, opening yourself up to let somebody inside, letting somebody see what's alive within you, communicating your inner world, your thoughts, your feelings, your perceptions, your wants, your needs, your desires with another person. That's vulnerability. That's intimacy. You don't get intimacy in relationships where there's not conversations about the shit that goes wrong. You don't get a deepening in connection, even if it's just with members in your community, if you run away from opportunities for intimacy. You run away from conflict. You avoid conflict. You don't get intimacy. And that's not who I am. And that's not the community that I'm creating. That's not the relationships that I'm cultivating. I want genuine, authentic relationships. So I'm going to be a genuine, authentic person. And I'm going to communicate to people what's alive within me. And this goes back into that story of like perfection isn't required. I don't have to be the perfect person all the time. I don't have to speak to people in the perfect way all the time. I do my absolute fucking best. And at any moment in time, if I make a mistake and I do something wrong, I take accountability and I handle my shit and I fix it and I make it better and I move on and I forgive myself, because that's all that I can do. And if I hold on to it and I don't forgive myself, then I'm beating myself up for being human. And that's not supportive. That doesn't help anybody. That doesn't heal anybody. That doesn't make the world a better place. Me hating myself doesn't make the world a better place. Me ignoring the hurt and pain that I'm causing to myself and others based on how I'm acting in my life, that doesn't support the world. But me showing up, taking accountability, and actually being committed to creating change, being willing to create a world where I feel good and the people that I'm in relationships and community with also feel good, that's good for the world. Me feeling like shit doesn't help anybody. I literally was like, you can stop feeling like shit. It's not going to make you a better person. It's not going to make you a better person. It's not. You're a better person because you owned up to your shit and you apologized. That's what makes you a good person. In my book. So that's what I got. I know I talked 10 minutes over what I thought that I would, but still, I think it was a good conversation, and I think it was everything that I needed to talk about with you guys today. I'm growing and elevating in my self-worth. The price continues to go up. We all deserve to receive. I trust myself. I practice the vibe of trusting myself. I practice the vibe of trusting God. I practice the vibe of receiving. I practice the vibe of living in the end. And I commit to regulating my nervous system. I commit to communicating to myself that it's safe to operate in a new way. It's safe to manifest money in a new way. It's safe to take care of myself and support myself financially in a new way. And it's really, really important that you have a process like this. It doesn't have to be an experience like this, but a moment like this in your journey where it really starts to click for you that in order to receive more, you're not necessarily doing more. You're not necessarily taking more action. You're increasing your self-worth. You're increasing what you expect to receive. You're increasing what you believe you get to receive. And if you're somebody like me who comes from that kind of like middle class mentality that says you have to work hard to get everything that you want, then there's a part of you that's gonna be closed off to receiving more, because you're gonna equate receiving more with working harder. But that's not what you're doing. You're just receiving more. So it kind of feels fucked up because you're not doing different things than the action you were already taking, but you're expecting yourself to receive more. And it's like, what do you mean I expect to receive more? What do you mean I expect for there to be more money? But the whole time, the action you were taking here was actually enough. The action you were taking here was actually enough. That's the realization that you have. Even if the action you were taking was lower, it would still be enough for you to receive more and more and more, because you're inherently worthy of receiving. That's high self-worth. I'm inherently worthy of receiving. I'm an important, significant person who matters and who belongs, inherently so, because I exist. There's nothing I have to do. There's nothing I have to be. No standard I have to meet. That's all I have to say. I love you. Bye. Oh, check out some of my courses. I don't know how much the How to Receive course is going to be. I don't know how much Visual Vamp Up is going to be. Visual Vamp Up is becoming one of my favorite courses. It's really good. But the How to Receive course is also really good. And the I Can and I Should course is really good. The Love After Loss course is amazing. It will shift your energy powerfully, but it needs a little bit of a vamp up. It needs a little bit more energy. It needs a little bit more TLC. You know what I'm saying? It is a $600 course right now. Well, I mean, I think for all of my work, you're going to get incredible value because you can just keep on fucking watching. I had a client of mine actually message me about love after loss and how she used the cord cutting meditation for a past version of herself. Brilliant, innovative. Anyway, that testimonial is going to go on the website. So things are elevating, they're growing, they're expanding. Obviously, it's all incredibly fucking valuable. But the How to Receive course and Visual Vamp Up, I'm solid on those. Those are $1,700. Maybe like by tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So if you already were interested and you're like, I'm probably going to get into that, and you would rather pay $600 or $750 if you're doing like the payment plan or whatever, then now is your last call. That's all I'm saying. Check out the offers, the courses, the meditations. I've also got testimonials for the meditations. I'm manifesting the fuck out of support because there's so much that needs to get done, and I don't have enough time to do it in an orderly fashion. So we need to hire people by tomorrow. And when you need to hire people by tomorrow because your business and all of these things are growing and expanding in such a way, is lovely and it's amazing and it's great. But it's also your sign, okay, it's time to make more money, it's time to charge more money, it's time to receive more money, because we need more support and we also need more enjoyment of life. That's the conversation that we've been having here today, okay? I love you, and now I'm really, really done. Okay, bye.